Hey everybody, today we are going to be talking about what I like to call category stalking, which is how to start working on your keywords and categories. So let's jump right in. So you may ask, how can I figure out what categories and keywords I should be using? This is a question I see all the time from authors, new and seasoned alike. And there's several different ways you can go about doing it, of course. There is software available if you have the budget for it. The software that is available out there is really great and can range in price, from anywhere from a few dollars up to $100. And the three main ones you'll probably hear about or may have even already heard about is KDP Rocket, Kindle Samurai, or KD Spy. So those are the three main pieces of software that at least I'm familiar with, the big three that are out there for keyword and category research with your books. And other people have used things like the Google keyword research, which is now part of the AdWords SEO tool, keyword search. So there's other ways you can do it as well, but it's really not difficult to do to do it the old, what I call the old-fashioned way, which can save you money and does not take as much time as you may think. I mean, it really can be done over coffee. So that being said, let's jump in and start doing some category stalking. Hey everyone. Okay, so today we're going to do something just a little bit different. Something that we talked about recently where I like to call it category stalking. So basically about once every few months, once a quarter, something like that, I will go in and on my backlog of books and just kind of tweak and update the keywords, categories that I'm using. So for me personally, I have seen when I do that, that I get a little bit of an uptick in visibility and start reaching a few new people, and I usually will see an uptick in sales because of that. So now, of course, that won't be everybody's experience, but that is mine. So it's something I like to do. Like I said, yeah, once every few months, something like that. And I'm a little overdue for doing it, so I'm going to do a quick video on how I do it. Now, first off, there are multiple pieces of software that you can purchase that will do category and keyword research for you. And if you want to spend money on software like that, they work really well. And there are several out there available. I tend to find myself doing it the old-fashioned way. And this actually will work whether you are, tweaking your categories and your keywords for a backlog of your own books, or whether you are getting ready to publish your first book and aren't sure what to look for on your category keywords. So, if you're doing this on your own backlog or on your own book, then what I recommend doing over here on Amazon, you can see I've got a couple windows open here. This little window here for Amazon, and then I've just got an empty old Word document right over here. So if you're doing it for your own backlog of books that's already published, you want to start from your own book page, okay? If you're doing it for a brand new book that's never been published, then you want to start from a page that is either a book similar to yours, it's going to kind of fit in that same genre, or you can go to the top 100 list for your genre and start there. And I'll show you that here towards the end of the video. But first, we're going to start from a particular book page. Since I'm working on my backlog of books, I'm going to start with book one of this series, and this is the page for it. So I'm just going to scroll down here. What I'm looking for is my also bots. That's where I want to really pay attention to. You can also do the same thing with the sponsored products that are related. These are, when people pay for ads and they're doing a sponsored products placement for their ads. That's why these show up here. So you can use that as well. I tend to stick with the also bought section because those are people who also bought these books and my book. So that gives me a really good tight place to start looking at what people are looking for, what categories and subgenres they're really digging into. So let's just start. So from my book page, I'm going to click on this one here first because it looks like it's possibly pretty similar to my kind of book. And you can go in and take a look. Of course, this is the entire series of theirs, but that's okay. You can go in and kind of take a look. And I don't go in and do a deep research on each particular book that I'm clicking on here. I look at the cover. It looks like it may fit. I might give this a quick glance over on the blurb to see if it does fit. At that point, I scroll on down here. What I'm looking for is the categories that they're in. And here's what I do. Like I said, I don't spend a lot of time on each one of these. I copy from the ASIN down through the categories. I do a Control-C to copy, come over to my Word document, do a Control-V to paste it in, hit Enter a couple times, and I move on to the next, okay? Because I don't want to spend a lot of time on each one of these. This is really just top high-level research here in the first part. So now you have a couple options. You can either go back to the page where you started, which is your own book page, or the page you started from, and look at another book that's showing up in the Also Bought, right? So for example, maybe this one here. And I absolutely love her covers. These covers are gorgeous. So I want to take a quick look because the cover doesn't really tell me, yes, whether mine kind of fits with that or not. Last chance to save with woman he loves, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I could see where that could fit. Mine could be kind of similar to that. So there's some similar elements there. So again, I'm going to scroll down to here, grab the ASIN through the categories, do a Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste, hit Enter a couple times, move on to the next. Now, at some point, you don't want to keep going back to the page you started from. You want to continue from the page you're on now, which is what we're going to do here. So, for example, I'm on, J. Andrews' page here for this book. I could go look at the other books in this series from her, but those are probably going to be in the same category or very, very close to. So what I want to do, and I've already looked at Ren Wars, so I want to look at something different here. So this one actually has a female lead on the cover. So I'm going to click on this one because my series for Adornment has a female lead. So I want to take a gander here. The cover definitely looks like it would fit with what I'm doing. I'm just going to take a quick glance here. And magic. Okay, yeah, this looks like it would fit. So I'm going to keep scrolling, go down to the product details, grab ASIN through category, copy, paste, enter, move on to the next. Again, I'm just continuing on from the page I'm on here. Already been to Ren Wars, copied that one. Not seeing another one here that I've already touched on, so let's take a look. Female lead here, Brandon Barr. Looks like we got at least one female lead here. You know what? Let's take a look at this one. Okay. Two women, two worlds, one epic destiny. I love that. That's a great lead into this. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down here and grab it. And copy, paste, enter, move on to the next. Like I said, I'm not doing really deep research yet. That comes here in a little bit. Also, sometimes you may want to just focus more on the indie authors rather than the traditionally published, but I tend to try to stick more to the indie authors, just to kind of so I can see what's really trending and what's going on with that group, because that's the group that I'm in. So let's see. Okay, so those are all from Brandon Barr. Let's take and Renoirs I've already looked at. Okay, so let's scroll through here and see what else we can find. Urban action. Okay, urban fantasy action. See, mine's not urban. Mine's definitely not sci-fi. So let's take a look at these. What else we got here? Now that looks like it could fit. Spellcraft, even though that's urban, that could be. Mine is not a retelling. Okay, now this one looks like it's something that could also fit, because it does look medieval, dragony, that sort of thing. Okay, only lost magic, dragons. Oh, that sounds awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down here, do the same thing I did. ASIN through category, copy, paste, move on to the next. Now, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch while I go through 50 books this way, because obviously you get the idea of what I'm doing here. But what you want to do after you've gone through and done a few books like this is you can go, because you know what categories either your book is already in or what categories you think you are probably going to put your book in if it's not published yet. But go through here and really start digging into these. So for example, Kindle, teen, young adult, science fiction, fantasy, science fiction, action, adventure. So mine wouldn't go into science fiction, so I know that's not going to work, that particular one. But like, for example, young adult, science fiction, fantasy, sword and sorcery. That one would work for mine, right? So here's something else you can do. And I'm just going to jump back over here to the Amazon page, for example. So for example, my book could probably fall under myths and legends. But definitely, I don't think it would fall under myths and legends and Asian. But I want to see what other subcategories may be here that I could possibly fit into. Here's how you do that. So click on just myths and legends. And that's going to take you to that subgenre of fantasy. So it's going to show you the bestsellers in myth and legend fantasy. But here's the thing. You can go over here and see what subcategories are showing up under myths and legends. Does my book fit in any of these four? Yeah, maybe. Kinda, sorta. Um, so yeah, you can, and then from there, you can even jump into here. Like this maybe might be something similar to what I'm doing. Let's see, international bestseller, Merciless Demon, Unleashed into the World. Yeah, that definitely sounds like something similar to mine. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do the same thing I did a little bit ago. I'm going to grab these because maybe that's going to be relevant. Paste it in, there you go. Now, here's the other thing I'm going to do here. Just like I did a few minutes ago, I'm going to look at these and I'm going to say, wait a minute, European, German, no. No, not so much, but what other things might fit in that? Right? And then you can see, like mine is not going to fit in that because mine is a completely different world, so it's not even going to work for that. But maybe I want to say, could mine fit in with fairy tales? Probably not. Could mine fit in with mythology? Yes, it could. So what subcategories are in here? So let's go to mythology and folktales and take a look at what the subcategories are. So folklore, yeah, maybe. Mythology, yeah, maybe. Let's take a look at folklore. Okay, and then I can go in here and say, oh, okay, so here's someone with a female lead. Doesn't look like it's really modern. So let's take a gander here. And you can see where I'm going with this. You can start really finding out what other people are doing with their categories just by spending a little bit of time. I mean, because right here we've spent what, less than 10 minutes? And I've already got almost 4 pages of research in my Word document. So what you're going to do with this at the end of that is you're going to go through here because you get your 2 top level categories that you can set for your book. And then you get those 7 keyword phrases that you can use, which open up other categories that aren't available in the category drop-down list. Okay, that's how you open up those other categories. So for example, when I go in here and tweak my categories for my book series here in a little bit, one of the ones I'm probably going to use is this one, right? So what I would do is in one of my keyword phrase boxes, I would type in mythology and folktales mythology, right? And put that in there. I might even type literature and fiction in one. The other thing you can do, use your keyword phrases first. But if there's a category that you really, really want your book to show up in, that it's not showing up in and doesn't seem to be unlocking no matter what you do with your keywords, you can always email Amazon support and request your book to be added to a specific category. Does not mean they're going to do it, but you can request it. And I've not seen any that have gotten turned down, but I mean, if you're trying to get a book into a category that's completely unrelated to your category, then obviously they're not going to do it. But yeah, I mean, where it makes sense, I've not seen anybody get turned down for that. But like I said, that's a quick, dirty, easy way. Like you can do it over coffee in a morning to start doing some really deep dive keyword research. And then I just go in and update the keyword phrases that I have on my books. Bam, save that. And usually within a couple, 2-3 days, I start seeing an uptick in my rankings and in my sales. So hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. If you would like to see a deeper dive into the good old-fashioned manual world of keyword research and stalking, as I like to put it, leave me comment, question, etc., as always, and we will dive a little deeper into it. Until next time, bye. So, hey, Stace, thank you so much. That made a ton of sense, right? At least I hope you think so. So as always, I'll be presenting more of these little mini masterclasses, such as this one here on my coffee page. And I know that you already know this, but I am a huge coffee hound. So if you like what you see and you're finding some value from my page here, please consider buying me a cup of coffee down below because it's almost guaranteed that that will actually be buying me a real cup of coffee because I drink a lot of coffee, guys. Yeah, I know, it's a problem. I can't help it. And if you want even more, consider this. I'm an author coach over with Author Boss Academy, and I would love for you to come join us over at authorbossacademy.com and stop in on Facebook and check us out on our open group, which is just at facebook.com/groups/author lab. And that's author like a boss, author LAB. So definitely come check us out over in the Author Like a Boss group. Drop in, say hi, tell us how you heard about us, what are you working on right now, is there anything we can help with, that sort of thing. We would love to have you in the group and get to know you a little bit better. So until our next video here on the coffee page, I'll see you all later. Bye.